Hi everyone, it's been a while since we done something like this, especially around Phoenix, but I want to show you something that I've been trying to make a thing for about 6 months now. It's been 6 months. Okay, so what I'm going to show you now, and I think a lot of people that I personally visited in LA and in other parts of Europe know about this, is the Spanish dry clean. So what's the idea about the Spanish dry clean, you may say? So let's go to a shot, something like this. I think this one is a good one. Okay, let me cut this. Okay. So in this kind of shots that you get a lot of like water and movement, it will be pretty difficult for us to do like a normal dry clean. I mean, obviously if you try to do it, then we'll get full of artifacts because of the amount of water and stuff. So usually people either they do the dry clean and they create shapes around the person or the things that they want to save. But to be honest, in this kind of shot, I think you are better off to cleaning it manually. So when you're trying to use DVO fix or DVO reparo in this kind of shots, it can do the job certainly, but it's going to be really hard to just find the correct frame, because obviously you have one frame with, one frame without the actual artifact. So it takes a lot of guessing to try to find the correct approach for this kind of footage. But I want to show you a different way. I want to show you Spanish dry clean. So the core idea behind Spanish dry clean, it's something that it's really tuned to the abilities of Phoenix. And it's something that you can clearly do on everything in Phoenix. And I think you got a sneak peek of what I was doing in the advanced removal macro that I released for Fusion and Resolve. So if I go here, okay, I'm going to apply a dry clean. This is a normal standard dry clean. And I'm going to do something that you may be alarmed. So I'm going to go all the way. I'm going to increase the advanced analysis. I'm going to increase the strength. No, I'm not going to increase the strength that much. I'm going to increase the strength until... I'm going to leave it at 1. I'm going to increase the aggressiveness, and I'm going to do super aggressive. One thing that I'm going to do here is to increase the temporal safety to 1. Okay, obviously, what is going to happen here is that, yes, it's going to eliminate a lot of the things that were happening, but it's also going to eliminate a lot of the water running around. So that's nothing new for most people. But I want to show you something interesting. What happens if we go to matte paint? Like in this step, you will usually do a red pass or a matte recovery, trying to recover whatever the effect may have created an artifact, something like that. But what happens if instead of using the brush in invert mode, we use it without it? Now, the effect is not being applied anywhere. You can clearly see it. It's basically like we have deactivated dry clean. But let me go back to the normal view. What happens if I find a piece of dirt like this one and I paint it? And this, ladies and gentlemen, is Spanish dry clean. It's automatic, zero guess way for you to create a high quality manual restoration with minimal or zero artifacts, especially for this kind of shots. And obviously you are working manually, frame by frame, but you are not creating a single artifact unless you want it. Now, one thing to be a bit aware is that try to keep the strength to 1. Now, there are going to be some cases that we need to increase the strength because some dust or some dirt, it may be somewhat difficult to clean, so you may need to increase the strength. The only issue with increasing the strength is that it may degrain the picture. It may reduce the grain of the picture. So in those particular cases, we may need to add a second pass of a regrain, not only targeting those specific paints. So again, something that you can manage. And the good thing is that you have painted every single frame. You can see these are the frames that I have painted. So you can add the grain wherever you have painted. So you have even more control, even in your regrain project. Let me go here. And again, I'm not creating a single artifact. I don't have to guess. That's the best thing, right? Because the problem when you have to do this kind of thing manually, especially with DBOFix, is that you have to guess a lot. You have to be guessing a lot. What's going to be the best combination? If DBOFix, what is going to give you the best result? Now, with Spanish dry clean, you don't have to guess anymore. And that's the beauty of it. So, and I think this saves a lot of time. And honestly, all the operators, all the artists that I shown this have found an immediate use for Spanish dry clean. And I think has improved the workflow up to 100% or even more, just because it gives you way more flexibility doing manual work. Let me choose another scene. Let's choose another one here. Have more water, maybe that car, yeah, maybe that one, maybe the spotlight, the water, yeah, this one with the water as well. Same thing here. We do a dry clean, we go all the way, and then we do the matte paint. Now, a good strategy that I've been teaching people is also, if you're gonna do the Spanish dry clean, rename your layer. Spanish, you press F2, and then you rename the layer. That's gonna be better. Because you can have a normal standard dry clean, like doing a basic cleanup, and then you can have the Spanish dry clean afterwards, doing the manual path. So basically you can clean everything with the Spanish dry clean. Again, 0 artifacts, all cleanup. And you can be really gentle with your brushes. You don't have to be that aggressive. Now you may be thinking, Fabio, can I use this idea for something else? And you can certainly do that. And I'm gonna show you how to do a Spanish scratch target. And it's the same concept. It's a bit interesting as well because you have a bit more flexibility when you're using the really aggressive modes that DBO Scratches offers. Right now I'm working on a mini PC. This has a mobile processor and you can clearly see I can move and paint this without any issue. So you save a lot of time in processing as well doing the Spanish method. Because again, you are only applying the effect to the paint brushes. You are not applying the effect to the whole shot. You are not waiting for renders. You are applying the effect only to the brushes. And obviously, you can use this in combination with DBOFix or DBO Reparo if you want. So this is not replacing manual step, it's just making it easier. Now let me show you an example of me doing a Spanish scratch target. Same concept applies. So let's say we want to do some scratch targeting here. Let me first stabilize this picture because this thing is moving all over the place. Hopefully it does it at the first time. Always frame lock. Just being yourself. Okay, thank you frame lock. Thank you for behaving. Okay, so same concept. We want to remove only the scratches manually. Because we know right now, I mean, even though in this kind of pictures it will be really hard to do it manually, let's try to do it. Just for the sake of trying. So again, let me go here, DBO, scratch target. This is video, I think. Yeah, this is video, wide, normal, we go all the way. And you can clearly see it's working. But another thing that you're gonna see is that we're generating a lot of artifacts. Oh, sorry. Now, again, same concept. What happens if I go to matte paint, I invert this, I name this accordingly, Spanish, and then I paint away. You can see I can have total control. If I ever miss a spot and I overdid something, I can go back. I can always go back. And it's like magic. Again, I overdid that spot. I can even go to the pixel level and clean the scratches. So this is like Photoshop level control. You could name it that way. Obviously, we are not going to use this for every single project, but the ones that we do are going to be useful. Now, there is a couple of these that are really resilient, that are not going to be in cleanup. And you may think, what happens if, on top of the Spanish scratch target, what happens if I use a region? So we have these regions in Scratch Target that are like a really intensive version of the Scratch Target. So if you try to use them normally, you'll probably create a lot of artifacts in that vertical line. But again, under the principles of Spanish scratch target, they are only going to get applied to wherever you are painting, nowhere else. So if I create something like this here, I'm applying the effect only to my paint strokes. So you can see the potential of this kind of feature. And again, just need to finish this. In this particular movie, I will be a bit hesitant to do this all manually because there is a lot of damage, but you can certainly do it if you had enough time. Again, you can see we have some sort of remaining here, and we can use again the selection. Okay, let's go to a more simple example. I think this one is going to be really simple. So we have a couple of scratches running down, and also we have the door. Obviously, because of the door, cleaning these black scratches is going to be really hard because we may interrupt. Again, you could tell me, Fabio, I can create shapes, and you are welcome to create those shapes. I'm not telling you that you don't. But again, let's try the Spanish scratch target. Okay, here again, and then woof, and then paint away, paint away, paint away. This may need a bit more help. Maybe I can do some selection here. Just trying to get rid of the ones in the face. I think we need to go black and white here. And again, you can see I'm not creating a single artifact. A single artifact. I dare you to find the artifact. It's basically the idea. Now, can you do other things? Yes, I successfully applied Spanish velvet, Spanish flicker for a couple of weird instances, Spanish DBO grain, Spanish dust as well. Doesn't work as well as Spanish dry clean, but it works. So basically any tool in Phoenix that renders temporarily and spatially can use this way of working. Most likely you're gonna have a really, really good result if you're willing to invest the time doing it. So again, sorry for taking me so much to do another Phoenix related video, but thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.